Hello, everyone. We're here at our next stage with our next competitor from D Squared Java, Laura Marie Fucella from Exeter, right?
Exeter. Yeah, Exeter.
Welcome. Everyone, give her a round of applause while her judges come in. Go ahead and say hello to your judges.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
And call time when you're ready.
All right. If I could start with my music. All right, in time. Good afternoon. My name is Laura Marie Fucella, and I am the lead barista of D Squared Java in Exeter, New Hampshire. Among other things, I'm also an art school dropout. Now you're probably wondering what possible relevance my short art career has to my current position. Well, sensory is the basis to understanding specialty coffee, and it was in art school where I developed my understanding of sensory. So the definition of sensory is the impulse reaction of our neurons based on our experiences. It's through these experiences we're able to make connections and recognize. As a barista, it's my responsibility to guide my customers through that experience with the use of my knowledge and my craft. So just as we are influenced by our experiences, coffee is influenced by its environment. Take this SL28 honey process. So it was grown at an elevation of 1,500 meters in the Naranjo province of Costa Rica. And thanks to the amazing roasters of Flight Coffee Co., I have the privilege of brewing this for you today. So this bean is unique in that it is multi-influence, containing characteristics from both its Kenyan origin, where it was developed in the 1930s at Scott's Laboratories, in an effort to find drought-resistant strands of the coffee plant. And it also contains characteristics of its Costa Rican upbringing. Don Carlos, the producer of this bean, was actually the first producer in Costa Rica to receive seeds of the SL28 varietal. And with a focus in microbatch production, Don Carlos is able to produce beans of the highest quality. And this SL28 is the perfect example of that focus, with noticeable flavors that you will taste of molasses, golden raisin, honey nut Cheerio. I have a 2-year-old at home, so this is a flavor that is seared in my palate just as much as my couch cushions. You'll also taste notes of vanilla bean, cola, baker's chocolate. There's a tart cherry flavor. So I recognize this as choke cherries, which are these little red berries that grow wild in the mountains of New Hampshire, where I'm from. So if you don't recognize this or don't have a reference for a flavor, think the tartness of a cherry pie filling. And then lastly, you'll taste notes of pomegranate and grapefruit, with the lingering taste of burnt sugar like the torch crust of a creme brulee. Now, the first time I brewed this coffee, I did so using the Kalita Wave. I've chosen to continue with that brew method as I really enjoy the Kalita's ability to fully extract those bright, clean notes while maintaining an even and consistent brew. One thing I realized in preparation for today, I was working with an extremely complex bean, and any slight variation in the brew process would drastically affect that end result. And the recipe I am working with is a 15.4 to 1. So that's gonna be 300 grams of water into 19.4 grams of grind. And I'm in between a 6.5 and a 7 on that EKG. My brew water temperature is 205 degrees. And this is going to create an output of 265 grams. So I've started with a 70 gram bloom. The reason for this, I really wanted to fully saturate those grounds right at the beginning. That's also why I made that little dent with my chopstick there to get the water right in. And this is going to allow me to keep that consistent brew. And then I let that bloom go for 1 minute, at which time I added up to 150 grams of water. And I'm following that with 2 more pulses. The first being at a minute 30 up to 225 grams. And then that remaining 75 grams of water, I'm adding at 2 minutes. And that remaining water is going to pull through on its own for a complete brew time of 4 minutes. The result is going to be a juicy, light to medium body with those full round sweet notes up front. And then as the coffee cools, those notes are gonna break away to reveal that bright fruit acidity you would attribute to a Kenyan. And judges, before I serve this to you, I'm gonna have you take in the aroma from the decanter. That wide opening is going to really give your senses a full submersion, where you'll be able to pick up on the aromas of vanilla bean and cherry. Think for a combined smell of fresh baked cherry pie with a side of vanilla ice cream. And then afterwards, I'll take that decanter back so I can prepare your cups for you. When I place your cups in front of you, please wait to take that first sip when I call time. And then afterwards, follow that with at least 3 more sips. The first being just as the coffee begins to change temperature, so pretty quickly after that first sip. And then the second being when the coffee warms down to about 40 degrees Celsius. And then that last sip when the beverage is at cools to room temperature. And I do ask that you sip from the cups directly, as they have been designed specifically for this coffee. I actually worked with a local artist, and by giving the cup that wide bottom with a little bit of an edge, it's going to allow the beverage to incorporate with each sip. So even through that complexity, you're still getting a balanced cup. All right, let's go ahead and smell that aroma. All set with this? Okay, thank you. All set? Thank you. And are you all set with this? Excellent. All right. And just as a reminder, first you're gonna taste those sweeter notes of molasses and golden raisin. And then when the coffee just begins to change temperature, you'll get the subtle notes of the vanilla bean and the honey nut Cheerio. As the coffee warms, the complex notes of cola and baker's chocolate, And then as the coffee cools, that pomegranate and grapefruit with the lingering taste of burnt sugar like the torch crust of a creme brulee. So at my school, there was this art installation. It consisted of a chair knocked on its side, roped off in the middle of a room. I was told that this was such a profound piece of work because it represented the knocked over chairs of our rush society and how through the artist's intended meaning, that was enough to make it art. This is when I realized art was 98% convincing someone of its meaning, and only 2% that connection the viewers intended to make based on how they're influenced by the work. So I dropped out. Curiously, that's the same percent of water to dissolved matter within a brewed cup of coffee. But coffee's more honest than that. See, I can't make that cup in front of you taste good simply by telling you this is what you're gonna taste. Ultimately, it's your senses and what influences them that will connect you to that cup. So judges, as you go to take that first sip, feel free to forget all the information I just shared with you, because you're about to taste something truly unique that's best served as an experience of its own. Time. Did I go?
All right, everyone. A round of applause for Laura Marie Fucella from D Squared. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Little rush to the time there at the end. Hey, but that's good. You got to be aware of your time, and you got to do what you got to do.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So, you're done.
I'm done.
Take a breath.
It feels good to be done.
Yeah, it does. That's so good. It does feel really good to be done. I mean, I've never competed, but after interviewing people, that's what they say.
Okay.
First off, those cups look awesome.
Thank
Tell
you.
us about those cups.
So I got into contact with a former classmate of mine when I knew I wanted to create something specifically for this, and she got me in contact with an amazing ceramicist who's located in Manchester, New Hampshire. So together we worked with it. The ceramicist was actually a barista in her past, so
Really?
she was well aware of what I was doing and was like, absolutely, let's figure this out, and that was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something about the way that the cup is shaped allows for the liquid after it's come to your lips to then recirculate.
It keeps, yeah. So each time you go to lift the cup, it's just gonna kind of just remove itself. So it's almost like when you're in the decanter and you just get to keep spinning it each time. It just does it on its own, so you don't have to keep sloshing your cup around.
That's interesting. So we talked about the cup. That was really interesting. Let's go to the coffee now. Is D Squared Java, is that a coffee roaster or a multi-roaster?
We are a multi-roaster. So it was Flight who roasted this, and they're a sister company of us.
Okay.
They're in Bedford, New Hampshire. So really amazing. Check them out. Shout out. But yes, I actually tried this coffee last year.
Oh, wow.
And when I tried it, I was like, this is what I want to compete with. What can we do?
Heck yeah. And so, I mean, the communication that has to go on for that type of a relationship between a multi-roaster and working with the people providing your coffee, I'm sure there's a lot of communication that has to happen there.
Tons of communication. Yes.
This is good, I like this, maybe a little bit more sweet, a little less bright, yada yada. Is that the process you guys went through?
No, I really let them take full control of the roast. Roasting is not my forte. I'm not very familiar with it. So I let them take full control of the roast. I enjoyed how they roasted it to begin with. It's what made me like the coffee. So what I then did was figure out what do I need to do to continue to make it better.
Nice.
So a lot of brewing of that coffee in various ways.
Oh, I bet. And then you landed on the Kalita Wave.
Yes.
Pretty great brewer all around.
It is.
When you were experimenting with other brew methods, if you did, what were the main differences that really led you to go with the Kalita Wave?
I just felt there was a heavier body with the Kalita. You got a lot more of those sweet notes. Everything else I tried, it came across almost like sour. The citrus notes were very strong in it, and even no matter how far I would go making that thing grind finer, I've even done a 5-minute extraction on it, and it would still just be there wouldn't be a sweetness to it. Even with that bitterness, there would still be just that sour taste there. So.
Which, it does resonate with a lot of what other competitors have been on stage here with V60s or conical shaped brewers have even said that they're looking to accentuate those acids or that type of flavor profile. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, anyone you want to say thank you to while you're up here?
Well, I'm here alone, but I guess thank you to Flight for providing my coffee. I wish my husband and daughter were here with me. He's actually in school for his master's, so he couldn't be here because class started today, and my daughter is 2, and I wouldn't be able to do the little toddler running around while trying to prepare for this on my own. So I guess thank you to them for putting up with me for the past year getting ready for this.
Of course, family support is so needed.
Yes.
So, well, congratulations again from D Squared Coffee, Laura Marie Fucella. Good job.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Congratulations. They're going to grab your microphone right over there.